In the week to come, the government will be making a number of announcements about workplace relations. As a government, we got rid of the hated work choices, the Liberal Party scheme for Australian workplaces that did so much damage and saw so many workers ripped off. We said when we replaced work choices with the Fair Work Act that we would have a review and see what else we needed to do for the future. We've already in part responded to that review. This week we will make some further announcements, and then a bit later on there will be more announcements to come. What has been described as the second tranche of announcements following the review will be partly dealt with this week and partly dealt with later. The focus this week will be on that part of the workplace relations agenda which is really about work and family life. Modern families can find it very difficult to balance the demands of work and the demands of caring for kids, and sometimes the demands of caring for older relatives too. We want to make sure that our workplace relations system is helping take some of the burden off modern families. One of the ways we will do that is by extending the right to request flexible and part-time work to mums who are returning from maternity leave, and indeed for dads who are returning from caring for children too. What that means is when people are trying to make the transition back to work, they will be able to request flexible and part-time work, and their employer will have to respond to that request. We already have, as part of our 10 national employment standards, a right to request. This is an extension to that right that Labor introduced. During the course of the week, we will also be talking about ways in which we can help working people if they're faced with a roster change. People make all sorts of arrangements for work, knowing what their roster is, building their childcare around it, and when rosters change, that can be very difficult. So during the course of the week, we'll be talking about some protections from roster changes, some abilities to be consulted when rosters change.